All right, let me just cut this short so that this way everyone can save some time. Pretty much, I'm just showing off a little tutorial guide real quick on Traversal and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And the way this works, I'm going to have point A and point B. Point A is where I currently am right now. Point B is all the way over here where my characters are going to be landing. And on the way there, I'm going to use the traversal in the most effective way that I found during gameplay. And on the way back, I'm going to show an alternate way. And once I've shown the point A and point B both ways, then I'm going to explain this character, and then at the end I'll explain who I believe are the best traversal in the game. Now let's get this started. Now first is Harley Quinn. For her, she's interesting. She has this swinging mechanic. I do wish it was a little faster, but pretty much every time you just want to start with the slide, you get that like little bit off your cooldown for the swing. And honestly, I find it really effective. It's very nice. Also, of course, make sure to grapple as soon as you can up to your destination, so I want to throw that in real quick, because it's much faster than wall running. Now, for an alternate way of travel, I can't really think of any for Harley, because she's just pretty simple. Swing, jump off at the end, and then do a jump to get your cooldown, and then for the third swing, dive real quick, so you can get that little bit, because when you dive, your cooldown does go by faster. I feel like in casual gameplay, the most you'll do with her is about 4, maybe 5 swings if you have a lot of distance below you. But yeah, there's not really an alternate way for her, just swing and then grapple up your location. Now King Shark's a little confusing to explain. Of course, start off with the slide, just get that extra distance when you jump. And then after everything you do, like dive, jump, just the 3 times you have it. I wish he went a bit further though, but I feel like for him, you don't really go consistently. Like you need to, I didn't really show it off here too well, except for the alternate part, but you gotta like land on things mid-travel, so that way you can just like land on a roof, charge up your jump, and then just keep doing that until you make it to your location. Definitely not like a consistent traveler, but he's pretty good, decent at least. Now, Captain Boomerang is probably the fastest character in this game, and he's also the funnest. Like, he was definitely my first main in this game, and current main. His is simple, just throw your boomerangs, jump after each one, and then do just a little mini teleport, and jump with each one, and then it's pretty effective. Like you can see, I made it with pretty much just ease. Now I forgot to record footage for it, but just like Shark, if you use your second boomerang to throw at a roof of a building or structure, wherever you can, and then jump off it, with your little like sprint you get after using the boomerang, that's also an effective way to travel, because that first boomerang really does go far, and I feel like him and Shark are the same in that way, but Boomerang's obviously better because he goes much further than King Shark. And now as for his alternate way of travel, it's pretty simple. Instead of using the little jumps after you've thrown both boomerangs, instead use them after the first, so you can get a little distance and then finish it off with that second boomerang to really just get you to your location. And I think I prefer this a little more than the first method. Depends where you're going. Okay, and now Deadshot's pretty simple. So of course, start with the slide, and then you do the boost, or the jetpack, then you do X or A, depending on what console you're playing on. And then right as you're at the end of your meter, you're gonna push your left bumper to do that little like mini flip in the air thing, just like regain some meter, and then you'll travel anywhere pretty fast. Now for this alternate way to travel, instead of doing the afterburner, it's just letting the jetpack go on its own. Much slower, honestly. I think, of course, obvious option here is just use afterburner, and then after you can throw in a little jump at the end in case you're like almost at your destination but not quite there. Also, another thing I forgot to add is if you hold the left bumper after you've used your exhaust, then you do a little hover in the air, which could help you. It doesn't move that much, but it's a little stalling in case you gotta get to a wall. And now for this second segment, it's more focused on height. So I'm gonna focus on going vertically and then jumping from the top of this building and just seeing how high the characters can go to see who's the best in the height category and who you should be using. Now for Harley, her vertical movement's pretty good. I'm not going to talk much about that now because that's going to have its own segment later. But for height, as you might expect, she's not much of a height person. so she doesn't do that good in that category. But now Boomerang, on the other hand, very good when it comes to height. You can just jump off anything, do a few dashes, and just throw your boomerang up, or do the dashes after the boomerang, doesn't matter. But you just get a crazy amount of height, honestly. Like, Captain Boomerang is just amazing for movement in this game. It's like, he's a very good traveler. Now, King Shark suffers from the same thing as Harley Quinn with his traversal, in the case that he's more about moving forward than upwards. The most he'll get is his jump, but after that, he just doesn't really do much when it comes to height. Now, this game has two characters who don't really do height and two that do it very well. Deadshot is the second character besides Boomerang who gets a lot of height. Both of his jetpack meters combined give him a very big amount of height, honestly. It's very impressive. Honestly, I really love traversing with Deadshot and Boomerang just because they're so fun to play around with. Now, I'm going to go into detail more at the end of the video, but don't let someone's lack in one category affect you from playing them, because every character in this game really does charm in their own way, especially Traversal, trust me. And here's the results. Obviously, Captain Boomerang was above Deadshot by around 23 meters, I want to say. And the only reason King Shark's above Harley Quinn is just because of his jump alone, because Harley doesn't have a move like that. Besides that, King Shark and Harley are about equal, and Deadshot is right behind Boomerang. And now this next section, I like to call it city travel or horizontal movement. Pretty much as I was describing before, where instead of just going to somewhere from point A to point B, I'm going somewhere but using the environment as well, just to show that off a little better. And that's pretty much just what this quick segment is. Now, first of all, Captain Boomerang. Once again, absolutely no challenge here. As long as you use your second boomerang to land on a surface where you can start sprinting, immediately you just jump off somewhere and then boom, you have both your boomerang charges back. And with that first one just going ridiculously far, it really just makes Captain Boomerang quick throughout the city. And if I need to go to the other side of the map, I just switch the boomerang real quick and then go back to where I was playing, even if it somehow wasn't Boomerang. He really is just like the best traveler in the entire game. And now Harley Quinn. There really isn't much to say here. Just as before, just use your swings, time the jumps, and then every once in a while grapple just to get that little distance. And every time you grapple, your swings reset, so you gotta make sure you slide to get that little time off again. And you should be fine. As long as you're moving through the city, you'll have things to grapple on. That's no problem for Harley. And it really just helps her get that much more speed, which definitely helps, especially for city travel. It honestly makes it really fun to just swing and then grapple around. I personally enjoy it. And next up is Deadshot. Deadshot's really fun. Just use your jetpack boost, do the exhaust, so that way you can get a second meter. And then before that runs out, or right as it runs out, just land in the building, slide, get your little boost of movement. And if you just do like a quick slide, your meter should just refill basically instantly. It's very quick. So as long as you just have that one quick moment like right there, you really just shouldn't have a problem getting anywhere with Deadshot. Very fun to just boost around the city like you're flying. And lastly, we have King Shark, which, unlike before where you're staying in the air, he definitely shines in this category, since this is pretty much how you're ideally supposed to play him. Just like with Deadshot, you want to slide, but make sure you're holding down that button to charge his jump, so that way you can get a little boost in the air. And just doing that over and over again, you should get where you want pretty quickly, with the jumps and then time your like little swims in the air. And then yeah, like not much to say about it. Shark's really fun, just going around the city, just jumping around. And now for the second part of this segment, it's actually going back, so more of like a downwards movement. But I'll keep it in this section just because, you know, I feel like it makes sense. You can't just go one way and not the other. Now in the city, moving downwards with Boomerang, definitely not the worst thing ever, but I do enjoy just throwing his Boomerang down, just watching him zip by. Pretty easy, honestly. Nothing much to say about it. He's still really fun no matter which way you're going with him. So yeah, easy movement right there. Now this is finally a section that I think Harley Quinn can really do well, since starting above actually helps her pretty well actually, because you get more space to dive, which means you could possibly get an extra swing if the bar fills up, which in this case it did. Now, like I said before, the most you probably get is only 5 swings with her, but going down is really easy because of her dive, because obviously the little speed boost she gets when going down. But yeah, just as for boomerang, dead shots, downwards movement, nothing really special about it, just as if you're going upwards, but just down. I don't know, that's all you can really do to describe it. Yeah, pretty easy. Just dive down and then boost to where you want to go. Simple. And now once again, back to King Shark. Only thing I can really say here is that he actually does really well moving downwards, in the case that he could just jump and then do his little dodges until he's above his location, then just dive down. Or just dive down and then just go to it. Pretty easy. I do like shark movement a lot. I'm not giving him enough credit, I feel like. Okay, here's how the end of this video is going to go. The final segment is vertical movement. So I'm starting from the bottom of Lex Court and running all the way up. And when I'm recording this actually after what you're about to hear, Captain Boomerang, because originally I lost the clips of Shark and Deadshot on one of Harley's, but when I woke up to finish the video, they were back. So if you hear me talking about not having the clips for someone, ignore that, because I have them, everything's good, and after this I'm going to explain who is the best when it comes to movement. And yeah, that I think will be done. But just remember, don't let movement affect who you play, obviously, because this is not combat related at all. Everyone shines in their own way in combat. This is just, if you're traversing the city or something, who I think is the best to go for, or who I think you have the most fun playing with. That really does matter a lot when it comes to gameplay. For this first run, it's Boomerang with his Speed Force wall run. Pretty fast actually. When he first goes on the wall, he has a very fast run, which I really do like. Makes me wish they made a Flash game before this, or even after, you never know. But yeah, very quick as expected. And now for the second run, it's Boomerang with his actual, throwing his boomerang. And obviously, it's going to be ridiculously fast. I mean, did you really expect anything else? This man is absolutely insane when it comes to movement. Boomerang is ridiculously fun to play. That's what makes me glad that he's actually really good in this game, not just fun to use. It honestly, some characters are fun to play, but they also need to be powerful. I think Boomerang does that very well. And now for what is sadly the final clip, because the rest of them just mysteriously disappeared. Which, trust me, when I make an actual video on this game, telling my thoughts on it, that won't happen, I'll make sure of it. But yeah, Harley, not much to say. She actually does amazing because of her grapple. Definitely recommend this one. And now we have Deadshot. There's not much to say about him, just he's very fast when he goes upwards. And sadly, he is behind Boomerang and Harley though. They're just way too fast compared to him, but he's definitely not slow by any means. Very fast. Now, King Shark. I definitely not been giving King Shark the credit he deserves during this video. And I love playing King Shark, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, just something about his traversal. I think his jumps are pretty fast though, but he did come just behind Deadshot when it comes to getting on top of Lex Tower. And don't worry, I know I messed up this little bit right here, but I'm not counting that. I'm just counting as soon as I get to the top. And he still is behind Deadshot. And here we have the final results, where I'm going to say where every character sparks best in each category. And after this, I'll also explain, even for the ones who don't shine the best in each category, how they do have their own ways of movement, which I greatly like. First of all, horizontal movement. Gonna state the obvious here. It's really hard to decide between Deadshot or Captain Boomerang, but obviously gotta go Captain Boomerang, just because of the sheer amount of his first boomerang throw easily puts him in first place in that category. For the second one, we have City Travel. Once again, gotta give that one to Captain Boomerang. I wanted to give that one to Shark, but I feel like boomerangs. Just like that little boost he gets when he first throws the boomerang, starts running, along with like the automatic jump at the end. It's just very good for travel. Now, vertical movement. You're never gonna guess who it is, but it's Captain Boomerang. Harley is a close contender with her grapple, because it has a very good range and goes very fast. But Captain Boomerang is always fast, so that easily just puts him on top compared to everyone else. And now for this technically final little extra section, I'm going to just explain pros of each character. Just because, Boomerang breezed everyone when it came to movement, so I feel like it wouldn't be very fair if I didn't explain what everyone does, but not comparing the Boomerang. Kind of. Probably won't keep that promise. Boomerang, it's obvious, he won every single category for a reason. His movement in this game is just ridiculously amazing. His first boomerang throw was ridiculous height, or distance, whatever you want to call it. And then he has the little mini teleports. They don't look that long, but trust me, they really do matter. And then he has vertical and horizontal movement covered, because you can aim the boomerang. And it's just going to you can go on the surface for a split second. As long as you have one step on the ground, boom, you have your movement back. At least with Deadshot, you have to wait like quarter of a second, half, or something like that. Boomerang, you just get it instantly. But yeah, I don't need to describe it much. You should know Boomerang is the best for movement for a reason. Next for explaining pros is Harley Quinn. Her grapple ability, I'll admit at first I didn't really like as much in this game. I didn't hate it. I still didn't really use her as much. After the main campaign though, is when I really started to use her a lot. And she's fun. Once you learn to time your jumps with her swings, the first 3 swings are really good, and the 4th or 5th is just if you have room for it, which most of the time you will not get a 5th swing, trust me. I barely got a 5th swing jumping off LexCorp. But yeah, not much to say about her. She does very well. She's not the fastest, but her grapple's really fun to use, and it's very fast. Honestly, if this had a bit more range, it might be in contender for Boomerang in his range. She doesn't have the best horizontal movement, but that grapple is where she really shines. Very fast and a good amount of range. So yeah, I definitely recommend using her. Like I said, she's not the fastest, but that grapple, outstanding. And it's it doesn't really matter if she's horizontal or vertical. As long as she can grapple, she has that movement, and then you start swinging. And now in third, well, not third place, but third explaining pros, you have Deadshot, who I just recorded this entire thing with, and the audio didn't work, so I'm redoing this right after. But yeah, all I really said is jetpack, just really easy to use. Just like I said before, just boost with afterburner, use your little dodge move, get your meter back, land on the ground, slide for a split second, jump, and then just do it again. And when it comes to speed, he is in second place with Boomerang, just by a little bit. Boomerang is only a little faster than him. I mean, he's way faster than him, but if you're not continuously getting that speed boost on the ground, they're right behind each other. So yeah, as long as you don't have a problem with going on the floor for a split second to slide, which trust me, there's gonna be buildings all around you, or even the floor, which is literally everywhere, you should be fine, trust me. Not much hints I can give with him except always moving your afterburner. You do not want to have a slow travel to the city. And now finally, last, we have King Shark. Not much to say about him like the others. Just land in a building, slide, hold the button to charge your jump, and then just let it go. Time midair, your little dodges. You should be fine with him. And while I'm here, I might as well say, I usually, for my other 2 videos, haven't asked to subscribe, but this video has been both easy but a pain to make, mostly because of the subtitles. Some of the subtitles may be slightly wrong. That's just because it takes me 5 seconds because how slow the titles are making my phone run. I'm doing this all from a phone, by the way. But yeah, subscribe if you want. I actually really appreciate that. This video is mostly annoying to make because I had to literally wait a whole night for 3 of my clips to come in. Well, I think 4, but I didn't even end up using one of them. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to be making my own review in this game probably tomorrow. I'm going to make another video tonight. So yeah, see ya. Good night, everyone. And until next time, bye-bye.